guys, welcome to COSC 1436. This is fall of 2020, and my name is Ms. Serrano-Correa. I'm going to be your instructor for this course. I've taught this course at Cedar Valley for many years, and I just want to start by letting you know that I'm here for you. Please make sure that you email me if you have any questions at all as you are going through this course. So what you see here in front of you is the eCampus shell. If you've never taken a class at Dallas College, we use Blackboard for our learning management system. You're always going to come in right. I'm going to show you this as a student view. So you'll always come into the announcement page, and I will post announcements weekly, reminding you of assignments that are due, and I also post any announcements of any reminders I need to send out. So after the announcements, you have the syllabus, and we'll go over the syllabus in just a second. There's a little bio about me that probably might need to be updated, and course schedule, which I will actually post in just a second, show you because that's already made. And then assignments and exams are all found here under these folders. So here's midterm and here's the final, and the exams are open the entire semester. You don't get any late penalties on taking exams after the due date. So I just want you to take them after you finish. So for example, when you're done with chapter 8, then you take the midterm. So make sure you wait until you're done with chapter 8, because I want you to do well on that. Also, for the C++ class, I do have reviews that are bonus points. So if you complete the review before you take the exam and submit it, then you get bonus points. And it looks like I don't have the exam posted yet, but I will make sure and post that, the midterm exam. And then final exam review. Here's the review. Here's where you submit it. No, I'm sorry. Here's the review. Here's where you submit it. And then this is the actual final exam. So I made some changes to the midterm. I just need to upload it. And discussion board, there's a introducing yourself discussion board that you need to submit, which is for points. And then this discussion board questions / lessons learned, this is just open. This is not for points. I'd like for everybody to participate. You don't have to, but it's nice to be able to post questions to the whole class or lessons, things that you've learned that other people might benefit from. So I would use that. Then here's the discussion. This one is for points. It's 20 points to post, 5 points to reply to another student's post. So you need to do both parts to get credit. And there are 4 of those that are worth 20 points each. Then you have a link that will get you to your grade book. You have a link for your book. So you can get the book from anywhere. You can get it from Amazon or any other source. There is no specific code that you need. You can get a used book. You can get an ebook. You can rent the book. It doesn't matter. I've used both the ebook and the textbook, and I enjoy both. I like the ebook because it's easy to, take anywhere you go. It's a pretty thick book, and so it is nice to be able to take it anywhere you go. But I also am one of those people that enjoy a physical book, so just depends what your preference is and where you're going to be working. So if you travel, then I would say buy or rent the ebook. So here's the ebook, and you have different prices depending on how long you want to access it. So here you can even get just a full year access if you want for $50, or until December 16th for $31. Okay, so going back to eCampus, there's a help button, and the help button has the phone number if you need to contact the service desk. I would type this into your phone or keep it somewhere where you have access to it, just in case you ever get locked out of the system or you have problems that you can't log back in. If you call the service desk, they will be able to help you right away. I've used the service desk. Faculty and students both use this number, and it works great. So make sure you write that down somewhere. And then I put in this, or the school puts in this resource link, and make sure that you have it available, because it has resources, library and tutoring resources. Even though the campus this semester is closed all campuses are closed due to COVID, we still have tutoring that is done online, and you can talk to a librarian. We also have different databases that you can use, not only for this class but other classes. There's a disability services number and links for each campus, and then the different student services links. Academic advising, if you need an advisor, any kind of support as far as what classes to enroll. Career services, counseling services. So counseling services we have available at all campuses. This is very important during these times. Financial aid questions, or if you want to apply for financial aid, if you want work study, we have work study programs. And sometimes a work study could be something like assisting a professor and helping with grading or anything that they may need help with. Transfer services, so if you're planning to transfer or would like to transfer to a four-year college or university, here's where you would go to get information about that. And you can actually talk to people, so this will take you to different phone numbers that you need. Okay, so going back to the syllabus, so when you click on the syllabus link, it will download. This is your syllabus that you're going to use for this semester. Here's my email. There's also G-Correa and GMS 3522, both go to the same place, so it doesn't matter which one you use. Miriam Johnson, if the campus was open, she would be in the lab assisting students. She can still assist by phone or by email, but she's not, the lab's not open. So skip the lab, but that would be the lab. If it opens, that's where you would go to the lab. This phone number here is the phone number for our division office. If you need to talk to the dean in our division, that's where you would talk to them. Here's the start date of our class. We start August the 24th. Class ends on the 10th. It's the very last day of class, and I have to post grades about 2 days after that, 2 business days after. Certification date is really important for those of you on financial aid, so you have to complete the syllabus quiz by September the 5th. November 12th is the last day to withdraw from the class. So I would definitely write that in your planner if you have a planner or online calendar. Okay, so here's the book that we looked at earlier. We are using the 8th edition. There's a new edition that came out, but we're on the 8th edition. Okay? And then you'll also need to download a free compiler. So I have several here that you can use. And in assignment 0, it actually gives you links to the different compilers. Okay, or you can just Google the names of the compilers. If you're using a Mac, you can either use code blocks or Xcode. Xcode is what most people use if they're on a Mac. And Xcode would be downloaded from the Apple Store. So you just download that from the Apple Store. This here, you can look at this later. These are the different assignments and how the points are spread out. And you just need 900 to 1,000 points to get an A. This is a description of the graded work. I went over the discussion boards. I went over the exams. I'll go over the lab assignments in just a minute. As far as attendance, since you're online, I don't require any specific attendance except that you have to complete that. The syllabus quiz has to be completed by September the 5th to be counted as you have attended the class. Otherwise, I have to say that you have not attended the class. Late work policy, 1 point off per day late. Discussions close on the due date. Exams do not close until the very last day of school of the class. And we also have quizzes in this class, but the quizzes don't count for a grade. The quizzes are just as a review. So it's just for you to see if you understood the chapter. Okay. Here's the cheating policy. And this is really important because every semester I have students that either copy programs from something that they found online or from other friends. And so anything that you find online to solve the problem that I've given you for the lab assignment, it's something that I have probably seen before. And so it's really easy for me to spot those. And then I think about lab assignments like you would think of an essay. Once you read an essay once, right, you're going to remember that you've read that essay if you read it again. And so it's the same thing with programming. You have a unique way to solve a problem, and I'm expecting you to have your unique way to solve a problem. You can get help as far as debugging. Somebody can help you find any errors that you have, but you need to come up with your own unique solution to the problem. This is our course outline. And I'm going to show you the same course outline but with dates in just a second. Okay, so let me go ahead and minimize this. And then I'll pull up the course schedule. Okay, so C++, course schedule. We are in fall 2020. Oh, here we go. Okay. So I will upload this to eCampus and after I'm done with the recording. But the class starts on the 24th, and by the 25th, you want to have completed assignment 0. We'll go over that in just a second. That's very important. Getting started, setting up your system, setting up your compiler, testing your compiler, and completing that syllabus quiz. So here are the due dates for each assignment. Typically, an assignment's due on a Friday, unless it's a holiday. So here's the assignments. Again, I have this date here, but you don't have to take it on this date. You can take it as soon as you're done with chapter 8. It could be that you're taking it before October 23rd or maybe a little bit after October 23rd if you are falling a little bit behind. I have all the dates here, very important. Last day to submit your labs, it's going to be December the 9th. And then the class will close on December the 10th. So that final exam has to be submitted by December the 10th. Okay, so you want to print this out, keep it somewhere you want to see it. I'll make sure and send reminders, but it's your responsibility to stay on top of the assignments and meeting these deadlines set here. Under assignment 0, I will post, well, this is the old orientation, so I'll delete that and post this one. But you'll find the assignment 0 document, so open that and follow all the steps. You will find if you're using a Mac, then this folder will tell you about Xcode. So here's a link to the Xcode, and here I posted a little video on once you download it and installed it, you just want to create a program, run it. It's called, a hello world project, just making sure that everything's working and that you see an output. You see that it prints out hello world. If you're a Windows user, you have many more options than this. I just posted a few options here, but some people already have Microsoft Visual C++ and they want to use that. I find it to be a bit complex for an intro student, so code blocks and dev C++ are very simple to use, and you can use either one of those. So there's a link here for code blocks, here's a link here for dev C++, and what I have here is just what I've asked you to do, because these compilers get updated. I don't know when they're going to get updated, but they get updated pretty frequently. So I just want you to go to your browser, whatever your preferred browser is, and just search. If you decide to use code blocks, search for code blocks, how to install or how to use code blocks. And then you can see little videos, or if you use a different compiler that's not even on here, that's how you would get help on how to use your compiler. So that's your assignment 0. Assignment 0 also asks you to introduce yourself on the discussion board. So open this document and go through all the different steps for assignment 0. Okay? Go through all the different steps. Very important not to skip this assignment. Okay, for the other lab assignments, you will use your book, so starting with chapter 1. And with each lab assignments, there will be videos, they're lecture videos that I created. They're called lecture presentations, and it will basically take you through the entire chapter. So if you are auditory and visual learner, I would go through these lecture presentations, and then you could either read the chapter before you watch this or read it after, or you might just understand and get it by watching the presentation. Again, these are the instructions, so what you always want to read the instruction first, see what it is that you have to do, watch your video, complete the lab assignment. The lab assignment instructions will be found here, and then you complete the quiz at the very end to make sure that you've understood the chapter. So all the instructions will look the same. There'll be an overview, you'll have the objectives, you'll have the chapter assignment. It's always going to say view the lecture presentation first. Here it says take the quiz. I would wait to take the quiz after I do the exercise. So do the exercises first, then take the quiz, and then submit the lab assignments. And it'll tell you that you submit them exactly where you found this. Sometimes I have some notes that I post about the chapter here, some things that are important, and you can go through those. Okay, and each chapter will look just like that. Instructions, presentation, quiz, and then a link to submit your lab. After you submit your lab, then you'll get your grade by going to My Grades. And if you see a comment next to your grade, then it could be, if you did not get the full points, then it'll have an explanation of why you didn't get the full points. If you see a 0 for your grade, then I will most likely ask you to redo the lab, and I'll tell you why. So it could be that you forgot to submit one of the files, or you forgot to, maybe the source file, or you forgot to submit the screenshots of your program running, or you just didn't implement the solution properly. So one of the things that I look for is, depending on what we're studying for that chapter, you have to use what we studied for the chapter to implement the solution. So sometimes a program can be written, let's say, without functions. We're learning about functions. And you can definitely create the program without a function, but we're learning about functions and it asks you to use functions. So if you don't use them, you will receive a 0, and I will ask you to redo the assignment. Okay? So even though everything works, it requires you to use functions because that is the topic that you're learning. And so you might see a redo for that. Okay, so the last thing that I want to go over is if you have questions, make sure that you always email me the source file. You email me if, let's say, you have an error. Attach a screenshot of the error. Just give me as much information as possible because I can easily answer an error problem if I have a screenshot. If I have the source file, I can do that from my phone. But if I don't have that, then I'll be emailing you back asking for it, or I'll ask you for the source file. I'll be like, I need the CPP file, the source file, and then it just takes more time. So if you include all that the very first time you email me, you'll get a response a lot faster. Okay, so good luck this semester and don't hesitate to email me. Thank you.